You know how women become lonely when they hit the wall, they are alone by themselves, there are no men to approach them because of their own doing. They didn't take advantage of their prime and now they are regretting. So let's watch a video from Virtual Brother, the loneliness epidemic in modern women.
5, and quite honestly, I'm lonely.
I'm just so lonely.
I'm so overweighting. Like, when is it gonna be my turn?
I feel like I'm back in that hopeless pit where I'm just like, when's it gonna be my turn? Why is it taking so long?
Why is it so hard to find a guy?
Never having been picked, never having been wanted, never having been desired, as you go through all of these years. 27 years for me, 27 years.
I don't express in words how badly I want a relationship.
I'm 37. I'll be 38 this year. You know, I don't have any kids. I don't have a boyfriend. I don't talk to anybody. So I'm always alone.
I genuinely question if there is real love left, like, especially in our generation.
It sucks being 32 and single and seeing all your friends get engaged and not even being close to that.
I've been stood up, ghosted, lied to, all in a matter of 3 months.
I hate this shit. Like, what do y'all want me to say? Like, I be in the bed crying every night.
I'm crying because I'm just reflecting on the fact that literally every person in my life has used me and then just throws me out like a piece of trash.
And I'm so tired. Like, I don't want to try anymore.
She doesn't want to try anymore. Has the dating market really gotten this bad, where women are actively looking for men and still can't find any?
Where are all the single straight men?
Where are the women pushing 30? Where do we find good men at?
Where are all the single guys that are respectful and educated and want to take care of a woman?
Where are the men our age hiding?
What does it take to find a good guy? Like, I don't understand why it's so hard in your 40s to just find a good person.
I'm starting to wonder where they are. Like, where?
I dated who was so nice, so cute, took me on the best dates, so fun. Like, we had fun. Every single day we had fun. But I did not feel emotionally connected.
It's not that I haven't been on dates or it's not that I haven't had boyfriends before, but it's more so that I just haven't been wowed.
He could be a good...
Let's talk about emotional connection. The possibility of you connecting emotionally with somebody, for you to feel that emotional connection, when you've been with over 100 guys, when you've been with over 50 guys, 20 guys, and then you expect when you go on the date to feel that emotional connection, it's not going to happen. You've already damaged yourself for you to be emotionally unavailable. Why? Because you are going on date every time with different guys. You are changing guys. You are not designed to be like that. So for you to want to feel that emotional connection, it's not going to happen. And at the same time, you have these standards that don't match the dating market. You know, your dating market or the guys that you can get, they are not in that bracket, but yet you want guys in that bracket. Us men, we are good at reading the dating market. We already know, even whenever we meet a woman, we already know she's about that, she's about this, she's about that. Can I manage? Can I keep up? You know, there are those things. For us men, we do understand the dating market so well. That's the reason why you find that almost every man works so hard that so that you might be enter that bracket. If you don't have the looks, if you don't have the height, you try to compensate that with the money. You work so hard on yourself, you build yourself up so much that these other things won't be so much of a factor. Why? Because you are compensating with how much you've built yourself, you know. But the guys that have the looks, the height, and also the image they've built themselves, they're a plus. You understand? So these women hitting the wall is because they don't understand. One, because they didn't take advantage of the prime years. That's between 18 and 28 or 30. That was your prime period. You should have taken advantage of that to find a guy that wants to settle down with you. Number two, you mislead the dating market. Thereby you hit the wall. Why? Because you want guys that are not in your league. The guys that are not going to keep you. Two, because you've become so promiscuous that you don't want to take care of yourself. And once that happens, you're not going to find any good men that will keep you. It's just the cookies and the ray-rays. If a man meets you today or he takes you out on a date, he already knows that, you know what, I'm not going to waste time on this lady. Instead, what do? I'm just going to get some chicks.
guy, but that doesn't mean that he is good enough for you. That doesn't mean that he is right for you, and you should not have to compromise on your standards or your non-negotiables because he's a good guy.
I am looking for a specific relationship. How I want it to be. And I am okay with being single if that means I will never get it in my lifetime.
And it wasn't even that I wasn't attracted to him, because he was an attractive guy, but there was just something lacking, and I was able to recognize it quickly.
This is exactly why so many men have tapped out of dating. The kind, consistent, and emotionally available men women say they want are often ignored. Why? Because they live normal, everyday lives that don't create drama, but women see that as boring.
In general, good men are steady and consistent and predictable. It's why, as women, we think you're boring.
I'm just gonna say the quiet part out loud. Most men are mind-numbingly boring.
He's so nice, and he's the guy that I should want. But it's like, I need a little bit of like a, you're going to send me to the psych ward.
When you get treated good, it's kind of like boring, and don't hate me, but I do love toxic, and I don't mean like super bad, but I like some spice in my life.
Because I feel like if a guy is nice, that means he gets no girls, and that's like a turn off.
There's a lot of women that I see with their husbands, it's like you're gonna spend the rest of your life pretending that that is not the most boring man on earth.
See, this is the trap a lot of men fall into, thinking they have to be emotional and toxic just to keep a woman's interest, but don't fall for it. Like I said, it's a trap.
The reason that they have these up and down emotions is they want to see two things. Number one, if you care about them, and number two, how steady and stable are you?
Again, it's just another difference between us, not good or bad or right or wrong, just another difference between us as men and women. As women in general, we like chaos and drama and disruption of routine.
Normal is boring. Normal, safe, stable, secure. It's boring. And they need crazy.
Are you a rock solid kind of guy? Or are you gonna be like all over the place, yo-yoing with her? And see, women don't want a guy who's an emotional yo-yo. I mean, it's all good and fine for them to be emotional yo-yos and up and down and all over the place, yeah, fine. But a woman hates that in a man. And the problem is that in the West, in Europe and the Americas and Australia and New Zealand, you know, we've been socialized into believing that we have to cater to a woman's emotions. This is a colossal mistake.
That's a huge mistake. This is why it's so important to focus on building your life so you have options. The same women who ignore good men now are often the ones complaining later when those men are no longer available or when they go for younger women.
Men my age, they don't want this.
The only
it's true. I mean, men of your age, they don't want that. You had an opportunity. You see how life is. You had an opportunity when you were younger. It was guys in their 30s that were approaching you. Guys in their 30s that were taking you to places. You know, you had that, and you look down on your guys of the same age that they can't afford you. They can't date you. They are broke. You understand? Now that you're old, you start asking, where are the guys of your age? These guys have reached their prime now, and they don't want somebody that's, that's old.
kind of men that date and marry women that are substantially younger than them are insecure men.
I mean, shit, they're teachable. They're fresh. They're pure. They're naive.
Nope.
They'll listen to us. And here I come with my 44 years of experience and lessons and, my self-worth.
I am 44, and these two men were 40 and 42. And they're the two men that are on my roster that I'm actually interested in, sexually attracted to, interested in intellectually, have great chemistry with, great conversations with. And they both friend zoned me because they think they might want kids someday.
They don't want a partner. If they wanted a partner, they would seek someone who was closer in their age. They would seek out a peer.
So this is what I'm dealing with men who are my age, out in the dating pool, sniffing around 40-somethings, but might want kids someday. I can't with this nonsense. It's biology. Did we stop teaching that in schools?
Look, I'm not sure, but I think wanting kids someday is a valid reason for not wanting to date a woman in her 40s. When women are younger, they often look for a man with resources because of the life he can provide. So no one should have a problem with older men dating younger women. And yet, despite all of this, women have been asking the same question for decades. Where are all the good men? Even radio shows back in the early 2000s were filled with that same discussion, and the conversation still hasn't changed.
All these women have complained, where are all the good men? You know where all the good men are? You said no to them. You said no to the nice guy who wanted to take you to the prom. You said no to the guy who asked you to marry him because you thought you could do better. You said no to the guy who, wanted you to move in with him or wanted you to fall in love with him. You said no to, you made fun of the guy, right, who sent you all those Valentine's Day cards and the balloons and the little teddy bears and everything. You just said no, 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 no. Then one day you suddenly turn around and guys aren't paying attention to you anymore.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. So let me maybe just make a few comments on this. I think, like I mentioned earlier, the reason why women don't find men, or they struggle, they are going through this loneliness epidemic, is because they don't make the right dating decisions. When they are supposed to find a guy that cares about them, that will take care of them, that will settle down with them, when they are supposed to be doing that, they are not doing it. They feel like they are getting trapped into relations or marriage. They want to experience freedom. They want to have their girls trip. They want to sleep around without having any consequences of men not to choose them. But there are consequences. You can't be sleeping around and then expect to find a good man to settle down with you. It doesn't work like that. You can't be in the streets when you are in your prime. You don't want to settle down. You are in the streets, and then when you turn 30, 31, 32, and then you start crying that you want a good man. Guess what? You rejected some good men in your prime. So what do you want now? You want those men who've reached their prime now to pick you? As if you pick them when you're in your prime. So it doesn't work. You need to start helping yourselves. And sometimes it will start by you listening to your father. If you have a father, you listen to what your father. You ask for dating advice from your father. Your father won't lie to you. He'll give you the correct advice, dating advice, for you to be able to get married or find somebody. But if you're going to listen to your mother, I don't know. I don't think women can give good advice about like finding good men or keeping a good man. I don't think so. You have to be a man to give that advice. Guys, thanks for watching and subscribe to the channel.